Your playlists aren't very good, but hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have some tips on how to make them a little bit better. Let's start at the beginning. First thing is every song has a feeling, and you need to discover what that song makes you feel. And does that feeling match the rest of the songs of the playlist that you're curating? You can have two acoustic songs, but one is vastly different than the other. For instance, AJJ's Brave as a Noun sounds much different than Noah Kahan's Call Your Mom. Although both acoustic songs, they both have very different moods and emotions that they're trying to portray. Being able to tell the difference of what the tone and the energy that is being presented to you in a song will help you much better organize the overall feeling of the entire playlist. But with knowing that every song has a feeling, you have to also know that it is okay to match non-acoustic songs with acoustic songs. You can go back and forth between those two things. They don't have to all just be acoustic. They don't have to all just be rock. If they give off the same energy, it's okay to put them in the same playlist. You can take risks. We'll actually get to that later on in the video. And also, don't lose focus on the mood that you are trying to create. I fall victim of this all the time. I'll be going through all of the songs that are in my library, and as I'm going through those artists and those albums, I start picking out the songs that I'm like, oh, this is a good song, so this song must go into this playlist. But that's not always the case, because that song doesn't always agree with the energy and the mood of this playlist. So it's just knowing how to keep those things in line and keeping them in focus. Because if it gets too sporadic, you start to kind of lose the overall theme of the playlist, which also takes us on to our next point. Not all good songs need to be on the playlist. We all love All Star by Smash Mouth, but All Star by Smash Mouth does not need to be on every single playlist. Also, the most popular song of an artist does not have to be the song that goes onto the playlist. Sometimes it's good to find that one song that is just deep in the discography that no one else knows, and when it plays, no one's going to know this song, but they'll hear the instruments, they'll hear the voice, they'll hear what's happening, and they'll be like, whoa, is this that artist? And I personally, I live for this. When people ask me like, oh, is that this artist? Or just stating, I really like this song. And then I get the opportunity to be like, dude, that's this artist from this band. And they're like, dude, I didn't know that they put out this song. And now you've created a spiraling effect of, hey, now we get to talk about this artist that I really like. Don't worry, you don't have to put on all the popular ones. Take a risk. Put the songs that not everybody knows from that artist onto the playlist, because sometimes those are the better songs to have on there. And my next point, it's okay to remove songs from playlists. I know, almost unheard of. Once you put the song on the playlist, you can't take it off. It's not true. You can do it. You could take it right off the playlist. No one's gonna know, especially when you've been listening to this playlist for a while and you just find yourself skipping this song. You're just like, man, I skip this song every single time I listen to this playlist. Maybe it's a good sign that that one needs to go. Just take it right off. Just get it on out of there. The next point is consider your audience. Who's going to be listening to this playlist when you're playing it? Is it just going to be you? Is it going to be your friends? Is it going to be your family? Who is it? And why should they listen to it? Just know that not all people groups are all going to love the same moods and vibes that you're throwing out there. And that's okay. What you listen to in your free time, and you can make whatever playlist that you want for yourself. Like, you can have death metal, hip hop, and experimental techno jazz. You can have those things on your playlist and you can love that playlist. But that does not mean that your family or your friends are also going to love that playlist. So know who your audience is. And honestly, if you, your friends, and your family, and you all love the exact same things as each other, great. Keep making the playlist that you're making, because you don't have to change anything. You all already love it, so just keep doing it. And the final point that I'm going to make today is it's okay to take risks. I know that seems a little contradictory to everything else that I've said, but it's okay to take risks. Sometimes songs don't seem like they would go together, but they do. For instance, I made a coffee shop playlist that had a bunch of songs that I think would be something that I would hear if I walked into a coffee shop. And I know that a bunch of different coffee shops have different moods and whatever when you walk into them. Like, some are very like punk rock heavy and some of them are very indie alternative. And I kind of like to bleed those two things together so that it has that mix. I like that. But when I made my playlist, I threw Deftones' Change in the House of Flies onto the playlist, and I had to take it off because it just did not match with anything else. I thought when I was making the playlist that it would match, but as I listened to the playlist more, I was like, man, this song sucks in comparison to all the rest of them in the feelings department. So the very first point, it just did not match the feelings and the energies that were being presented from the other songs. But I did also take some risks on the playlist, and I threw some more upbeat, like Weezer songs that kind of were different from like the more down tempo, but I think it's nice to every once in a while have the dancey song as a little sprinkle of something different. Well, that's all the points that I have for today. If you have other suggestions or things that you think would make playlists better or that help with curating a playlist, throw them in the comments below. And if there's enough of them, maybe I'll make another video of additional things to think about while making playlists. And if you think I'm wrong, also just let me know. I mean, I could be just completely left field. There's no reason why this guy on the camera, me, should be talking about this. Thank you so much for watching. Consider liking, consider subscribing. Thank you for watching the video up until this point, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.